Before we get into it,
Yep.
Zach,
Yep.
I love you.
Love you too.
You're
Are
you're
you
one,
like,
you're one of my best friends, man. Will you be my best man?
wait, is this for real or is this a trick?
No, this is real. I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not gonna get to do the. I'm not gonna get to do the groomsmen games. And truth be
Ah,
told, I would prefer you win it anyway. Um, but yeah, will you be
yes.
my
Well,
best man?
I've just won. Yes, I'm gonna be your best. Yes, I'm excited. This is gonna be amazing.
Welcome to the PRFFP, the podcast where we just break down and ask questions of the directors from the Party Room Film Festival. For this episode, I have Zach Adams. Zach, how are you, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you, man?
I am good. Chick-fil-A gave me a free milkshake, so I'm kind of like super happy right now.
Oh my gosh. Going to
Uh,
Chick-fil-A after this. They handing out free milkshakes.
yep. And of course, I get to hang out with you for about an hour, so life could not be worse. Or life could not be better. Wait.
Dude.
Anyway, we are here to talk about your film Wet or Wilmore Extra Terrestrial, your submission for 2021, your submission for the 2021 festival.
Yeah.
Andrew said that this was one of his favorite films. He called it the Fight Club of the Party Room Film Festival because it was kind of a sleeper hit.
Yeah. I
Everybody I
like
have
that.
everybody I have interviewed so far has said amazing things about your film.
Really?
Yeah, everybody
Oh,
has been
well,
super.
good. I'm glad they watched it after the after the night of, after the premiere.
Well, it's you kind of got what's the word? You kind of got the shaft because the lagging
Yes.
hit you during the showing of your film, and that was kind of a bummer, but I think it still broke through to people how cool this film was.
That means a lot, honestly, because definitely after the festival happened and after the lag hit, like there is a place where, like, if lag is going to hit one of our films, like as an administrator of the event, like one of the administrators, like I would rather it happen to my film because I know how hard each of us work on these things. I will say that like after the night of, I was like, man, one of the great things about the Party Room Film Festival is that you are assured that the product that you worked so hard to create will have an audience. That someone is going to watch it and be chained down to watch this insane thing that you made, and they will have to have an opinion on it. And that is like the beauty of it. And the fact that my film is so fight clubby that any type of buffering would pretty much waterlog any message that this film would have. The fact that that happened, I was sad. I will say that.
Understandably so. This film stands out for a couple different reasons. For example, your film kind of covers a couple different genres. It was the only film to have like an anagram for acronym? Anagram?
Yeah,
What's
it's
an
an
anagram?
acronym. Is it anagram the it's like tenant where it's like backwards?
No, that's a palindrome. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there it
Dude,
is. No, that's
I
a
think the
palindrome.
buffering is the buffering has come back for us.
Yes, it did.
The buffering will not only affect my film, but it will fuck with this podcast as well.
It will affect and haunt you till the day you die.
That's right. The Zach Adam curse.
Well, you have kind of a unique position compared to all of the other directors. You
Yep.
being on the council, you know the stipulations before everyone. So tell me a little bit about what your reactions were to your word, your category, and your actor.
Okay, when I got my word and the word was wet, I was very much like, oh God, this is awful. I did think it was very funny. I will not lie. I thought it was funny, but at the same time, like I really like the titles of my films and I like try to plan a lot around that title. And so to have the word wet in it somewhere was interesting. You would think that would be like I don't know, like kind of a sexual bent, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But of course I wouldn't go that far with it. With my actor, I thought that was a dream come true. I got Trevor, and Trevor will do anything for the laughs. If you watch my film, I feel like he delivers. So I think the man is a legend.
Yeah, can we talk a little bit about his or no, I don't
His
want to do
role.
yeah, sorry, there's so much to
There's a
unpack,
lot to talk. Yes.
and I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Hmm.
We'll get to Trevor. We're gonna put that pin right there. We're gonna get to it.
Cool. We'll get there. We'll
Um,
get to Trev. We got
but
a lot of podcasts.
tell me a little bit about the light bulb moment when you were like, all right, let me make this. I already forgot the word again, but let me make it Wilmore Extra Terrestrial. Tell me about your light bulb moment.
Yeah. So the light bulb moment really came with that word. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise, I would say. So when I got wet, I was like, all right, well, what's this thing going to be? Well, what are we going to do? And I was like, all right, well, I don't want to use the word wet, make it sexual or do anything like that. Let's make it an acronym. So that was like my first step towards what I was doing. So I was like, okay, I have the words ET. ET sounds like extraterrestrial, like the movie ET.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, I have a W. Let's do something with a W. So I was like, okay, Wilmore Extraterrestrial. And this is going to be an Ancient Aliens in Wilmore. That was the thought process. So that
Now,
was the
how
light bulb initially.
mhm. Now, how quickly did that come? I'm looking for a timeline on your film. Did that come immediately, 2 weeks into it? Give me the timeline of having the idea, pen to paper, shooting, editing, etc.
Yeah. So I really sit on ideas a lot. I'll do a ton of writing. I love to write. My directing leaves a lot to be desired. But my writing and scripts, I will argue, are very fun and good. So what my process was is, okay, let's think of the audience who wants to watch this thing called Wet or Wilmore Extraterrestrial. When I watch the Party Room Film Festival movies, I actually watch them like 4 or 5 times a year with different groups of people. So I'm
Mhm.
watching like these films with a whole lot of people, actually not just the nerds. I think it's just that fun. So when I made my movie, I was like, well, actually, a lot of people are going to watch this. A lot of people are going to rewatch it. So do I want there to be kind of like a reason the acronym is the word wet?
Mhm.
So I had Wilmore Extraterrestrial, but then it just so feels so forced for it to be the word wet. So I was like, okay, well, let's do something with my lake in the backyard.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, let's have a lake monster. Okay, the alien, because it's extraterrestrial, is in the lake. There it
Yeah,
is.
there it is. Perfect. All right. So, how quickly did you have this initial idea slash getting the script? Was this a week after the intro video? A month? Give me some type of timeline.
I wrote it in probably just a couple weeks. I had a couple different drafts, and there was some different ideas that I was playing with.
Mhm.
So one of the ways that I write is I'm obviously trying to write something that I can actually pull off with a phone in the backyard with friends filming it, and
Mhm.
they're going to be the actors. So I wrote like a couple different drafts, and I was like, let's boil this down. And that's almost what created like the segmented style of the film.
Mhm.
And because I was like, let's make it easy. Let's have like a news segment. Let's have a found footage segment. Let's have a actual like TV show X-Files segment.
Mhm.
And that will be like the style of the film, but it will basically just make it easier to shoot because like the like handheld scene like where Charity is just like or it is me just holding the phone. We did that in like 3 minutes, like shot that dialogue instantly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we needed to do. So the parameters and what we can do within this also helped me write the script.
If time or budget wasn't an issue, what would be different? If you had an extra month, an extra 2 months, are there any shots that you would want to revisit? And also, with your use of practical effects, what would you do with a bigger budget?
Hmm. With a bigger budget, so my film, I feel, is it's very self-indulgent, Zach. Like I do everything that I want in this film. I think I would just, if I had more time and more money, I would go just a step further and um, make the original alternate ending to this film,
Mhm.
where I like emerge out of the lake and I'm like, I like get to the lair of the lake monster and there's a battle. Like that is like in the original draft, like me and the lake monster go head to head. And
Oh, that'd be
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And we have like Jake and the CIA like show back up and everyone's just like pow, pow, pow. We have like a whole like action Stice level sequence where there's just guns everywhere. And people are dying. That's what would happen. It would just be absurd to the max.
I think one of the things that stands out about this film is just how cinematic it looks. You have so many different just pro level shots. For example, the reflection in Jake's sunglasses whenever he's interviewing you at the beginning. You have
Yep.
the phone gliding along the water to kind of set the scene and make it feel all eerie. There's the shot of the ceiling fan from above the ceiling fan. There's just
Mhm.
so many good shots in this. Tell me a little bit about I don't know, tell me a little bit about your eye for these shots.
Yeah. I love like a lot of the shots that we were able to get in this film. I can't take credit for them though. Charity Karkuff, who's my friend, she helped me on my 2020 film as well. She was the cinematographer for that.
Mhm.
And with me acting, like I try not to put people through like being the lake monster or being a zombie. Like I try to take the worst roles so I don't make people suffer through the filming process. So I end up kind of delegating the camera to someone else to actually do these things. And Charity always has a great idea to like add to this. With the lake monster, of course, like I wanted for us to be able to get like some like transition water shots like in and out of the lake, because that's just a great shot. That's just a like a Swamp Thing
Yeah.
reference essentially.
It really
So
it really accentuates the chaos that you're trying to portray. Tell me a little bit about that. Were you actually just dipping your phone in and out of the water?
it was in a sealable bag. So there's like a bag that is made to be completely encased in water, essentially.
Okay.
It's like made for phones and stuff, and that's what we used. We
Okay.
were getting cheap though. It's
I
pretty cheap
gotcha. I
setup.
I remember seeing those shots and thinking, "Does Zach have a new phone now? What is
I
this?"
just I just sacrifice a phone for the films. I just like destroy like a I don't know even how many hundreds of dollars these phones cost. Like just throw it away for a
Mm.
party room. See, I do stuff like that though. It's like I don't need this anymore. Let's
Mhm.
use it for the best cause.
See, I'm going to work on getting Mountain Dew to sponsor our festival, and I think I'm gonna
Yes.
ask them to get us all new iPhones with the
Oh my
cinema
gosh.
cinematic cameras.
Get us all gimbals and we get a ton of lighting. And yeah, we get lenses that you can attach to the phones so
Mhm.
that it just looks like a cinema level camera at that point. We just get around all this
Yeah. I do have
nonsense.
I do have Andrew's permission to contact Mountain Dew and try to get a sponsorship.
Oh man. See, that should be a party room film festival movie in itself.
No.
Like it could just be like the audio recording of you calling them and then being like, "What the fuck? What is this?"
I just I think they would be honored. They would get us a new Golden
It would,
Dewey. I mean, at the very least, they would sponsor us by giving us free Mountain Dew for the winners, right?
that's probably accurate. They'd probably send us like a ton of Mountain Dew
I
at
mean,
at
they can
least.
they can give us at least 10 bottles of Mountain Dew for free. All right. That's my
That's all they
goal.
send. The
That's my goal.
president, Mr. Dew, comes out. He gets on the phone. He's like, "Who is this? Who's this punk calling me about a sponsorship? Give him the minimum pack. Give him 10 Mountain Dews.
Here's the thing. If I can just get $10 from them, I achieved my goal of getting a corporate sponsor for the
That's
festival.
that's totally fair. That's absolutely amazing.
So look
I
out
would
for
love
that.
that.
That's coming out soon.
That'd be a
Um,
major achievement. I would
yeah.
applaud you, sir.
Your film is definitely one that stands out because of its practical effects. Tell me a little
Hmm.
bit about the tentacle and the tentacle scene where it's wrapping around your leg and it's swimming through the water.
Yeah. That's definitely like the pinnacle scene. That's the most important scene in a way because it's like you know that the film's leading up to something. You just upon your initial like viewing of it, you have no idea what it's building to. You're just blindly walking into oblivion, and then I think I kind of pull off. There's like the out there reaching into the darkness, you actually find something. That's like what's terrifying about it.
Mhm.
Um, so
I mean,
the
I will
tentacle,
say that like everybody kind of had the initial like, oh, like, we see it creeping up behind you. But I was like, okay, yeah, it's going to sneak up. It's going to jump on him. I actually jumped when the tentacle wraps around your leg. I was like, "Oh, oh, what's that? What's happening?"
yeah, everyone kind of like leaps out of their seat when they saw that the first time,
It's
and they
amazing.
always they somebody always comes over and they're like how did you do it? How did you make that happen?
Yeah, that was
Um,
me. That was me. And I don't like your impression of me, Zach.
no, that was an impression of my Aunt Brenda. It's somebody else. But no. So yeah, I mean it's pretty easy to see. Like part of it, this movie is kind of like a 1950s like horror alien film because it is just like a pool noodle wrapped in duct tape and then really poorly spray painted it's one of those things where if you've seen like the Evil Dead or like Army of Darkness or even some of the dumb crap that they do in like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies,
Mhm.
they do a lot of practical effects and it's a lot of like hit the actor with this physical thing and get a response, and the response is actually what you're aiming for. Like it's almost like the effect itself doesn't have to be that great if like the actor response is real and there, and
Mhm.
that makes the audience believe it.
Mhm.
So I won't commend my own acting. I'm an absolutely terrible actor. Uh, but I think hitting me in the face and wrapping me around in the pool noodle and dunking me in freezing cold
Mhm.
water at 6:30 a.m. in the morning is a very real reaction. So
Well,
yeah.
no, I don't want you to sell yourself short because you do have an amazing performance in this film. I'd like to highlight how, for lack of a better word, how batshit insane you look whenever you're being
Oh
interviewed. Your
yeah,
eyes your eyes are so scary, man. What was happening
yeah.
there?
So I actually just came out of the lake at that point. And so like the lake water, I don't know what it is, but like when you initially come out of the lake and it's like, or maybe it's just me, I don't know, maybe it's like some actual allergic reaction. But yeah, no, I looked like I was like on some kind of drugs at that moment. And I was just like, this is perfect for my crazy interview sequence.
Dude, your eyes, they were so piercing and you're not blinking. It was just that was amazing. I'd also like to highlight the scream that you have when the tentacle pulls you into the lake. I'm gonna be disappointed if that isn't the festival's what is it called? The Wilhelm scream. Uh, just because
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome?
I I love that scream. That sound bite is just amazing.
There's
Yeah,
a
so
little reverb on there. There's a little to make it elongate, to lengthen it out, and you get the full breadth of that death. Yeah, that's definitely the moment that leaves you with nothing left. So
Mhm.
it's good stuff. I
Yeah,
hope
no.
that becomes the Wilhelm scream though. I hope everyone just like, it doesn't have like prominent or anything, but it's just like in the background.
Yeah, no, that scream is amazing, and I love it. There there is one shot that actually gets me. I'm gonna be vulnerable here and say there is one shot that actually
Vulnerable.
genuinely gets me a little bit emotional in your film in a way that none of the other films do, and
Oh,
it's the shot where Jake, Charity, and Sam, they all, like, kind of walk away, and it's this long shot where you kind of, like, look down and you like, you're looking around and you go, "Okay, then," um, and you just kinda keep going, and there's just something that's very emotional about that shot to me. I don't know why, and I'm not even doing a bit here where I'm making fun of it.
hmm.
It
No.
genuinely the look in the eyes of somebody who says, like, "You know what? I'm on my own, but we must keep trekking forward." And I just really like
Yeah.
that shot. It's a great sequence.
I really appreciate that. I'm glad you kind of picked up on that because it is absolutely the point of that scene where that character is like the Captain Ahab, where even though everyone abandons him and there's he's still gonna chase that white whale, and you're just wondering how far he's gonna go.
Mhm,
And so that that sequence, that might be one of the scenes that I would actually like to redo if I had like more time and more money. Because I would love for there to be even more down moments in the
mhm,
Party Room Film Festival, where there is like a moment where you actually like really, really feel for like what's happening and for the characters. I think Paul really tried to do that in Sweaty Games. And that was my character as well
mhm.
in that if you recall Sweaty Games, where he's like he's lost everyone and he's like trying to find a connection with Levi's character,
Mhm.
which by the way, Levi Simonton is an incredible actor, unlike unlike his co-actor.
Stop it, stop it.
Dude, Paul had to work with me so much on that scene. He was giving me the classic like, oh, you did good. He was but try it this way.
Mhm. And you're like
The Because he's a good director.
"Paul, you dumped 10 gallons of water on me. I'm shirtless. What else do
Mhm.
you want?"
What else do you want from me? I've given everything for this role. Yeah, but no, I really appreciate you saying that. I well, the idea of that scene was to be a little bit down, and there's only a few of the films that I think have even attempted to do something like that.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, no, it just stands out. Again, so many things to unpack because so many things do stand out about the film.
hmm.
Um,
It's a unique one, that's for sure. At its
uh,
best, it really is. I really appreciate Andrew saying, like, comparing it to Fight Club. Like, that's a huge, like, I really appreciate him saying that about it. Like, that makes me so happy. But I mean, like at its best, I guess you could compare it to Fight Club, and then at its worst, it like I think some of the hokiness of the film, it kind of turns into like Starship Troopers, where it's just like this is insane, this is goofy. So I think like Fight Club, it like works for half of everyone, and then the other half of people are like, what on earth what did I just watch? And maybe like maybe how good the movie is kind of comes in that second viewing where it's all leading to
mhm.
the lake sequence. So I don't know.
Something that I didn't get my first time watching it, but I picked up the second time is Paul Sigler's amazing line of,
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't see
I
any
didn't see
aliens at
no aliens. Yeah.
if
Something
they
like
wanna be seen, they come out during the day."
that's right. Yeah, that's what he says. Oh man. Yeah. I asked Paul, like I went back to Wilmore and I stayed with Paul. And of course we shot his film on the same day. But I was like, Paul, would you help me get all the B-roll I need and also like be in my film for just like this much?
Mhm.
And being the nice dude that he is, he was willing to, and then he comes up with some great line like that. So
So that was a Sigler written line.
actually, I may have written that, but let's just say, see, there's no way anyone could have pulled it off better than Paul. So
That's probably
all the
true.
credit to that genius, that absolute artist.
Mhm.
So
Alright, so you get a cameo from the one and only Sigler. You
mhm.
also get Matt Stison on this one to be, what is he, a geologist, an architect, something along those lines? He's a
He's an archaeologist. Yeah,
archaeologist,
yeah, yeah. So I was trying to bridge these ideas. Like I basically have two different scripts where
mhm,
one of them is like this kind of what like this just like one joke where it's like, ooh, ancient aliens in Wilmore. That's a fun thing. And then it
mhm.
also becomes a let's go fight an alien in a lake and reveal the truth, X-Files style kind of a movie.
Alright, so we get cameos from Paul and Matt Stice, but neither
Mhm.
of them were your actor for this film, your assigned actor. Your assigned
Yeah,
actor was the one and only Trevor Smith.
that's right.
Tell me a little bit about his performance and the direction that you gave him for his performance, because it is quite memorable.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I know Trevor will commit to any role. The only thing that was difficult was that, you know, he lives so far away.
Mhm,
And so I was like, all right, well, what can I do so that he kind of works for this part? Luckily, my film is like so episodic. It's like five different little shorts in an 8-minute package. So I was like, oh, well, I'll do a interview segment where it'll just be he could just film himself and he is a character who just chimes in on what's happening.
mhm.
And so yeah, I wrote like a crazy kook who gets abducted by aliens, and I messaged Trevor. I was like, I need you to just do whatever you want. I've got like 4 or 5 takes of him just being the full Trevor, you know,
Mhm.
110% Trevor, and it's all gold. And honestly, I almost would like it. I wish I could have used all that footage. I'll say that.
I think I speak for everyone in the festival and all of our loyal listeners to the podcast. I think
Mm.
I speak for everyone when I say, please release that footage.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely can. I think Trevor has sent it to a few people because I think he is proud of it as well because of just how absurd he goes. I mean, he
Mhm,
just does such a good job. So,
mhm.
yeah, yeah. Once this releases, I'll definitely put those clips on there. But a few people have probably witnessed the full Trev
Uh,
for my film.
did you tell him to wear an eye patch?
I did not tell him to wear an eye patch. I don't. I
I don't know
assume.
why that's important to me, but it is.
Yeah, you know, I didn't see it coming either. Actually, I forgot to ask him why he was wearing it.
He's a method actor and he just like really needed to get
He got it really into his role. That's probably what it is. I assumed like maybe he was like studying for his eye doctor stuff. I don't know. For his exam, he had to see what it was like to be a one-eyed pirate. I
Mhm.
don't know. I don't know what I thought. I should have asked him.
I would
Sorry, Trev.
imagine
I want to know.
I would imagine that once he put that tinfoil hat on, he just changed as a person on a molecular level.
He probably did. He probably did. He is like our uh he's our Christian Bale, you know. He will transform his entire being into whatever role he becomes. So what a
Man,
legend.
I love him so much, and I
Hmm.
can't wait for more years of just getting Trevor films.
I mean, the great thing about that is that you just never know what you're gonna get. Like anything could happen.
Mhm,
He could make literally anything, and it would be amazing.
mhm. Who do you think wins in a 2020 versus 2021 grudge match between your films?
I really like 2021. Like if you put them both together, I do think it's funny. They're both kind of similar. Like they both have something to do with TV, and there is a meta joke to both of them.
Mhm,
So I've almost like discovered about myself that I really enjoy this joke because I keep telling it. Because like my first film, as you viewers recall, it was a trailer. It was a red band trailer, and that's what the movie is called. And so in this, it's like a bunch of TV segments, and that's kind of like the theme that goes with everything. 2021 is kind of like a sequel to that first film because I feel that they're like really similar. So I think this one is better because it like more utilizes practical effects, and it kind of has more of a progression, whereas first year was like more of a test to see what we could do with the Party Room Film Festival, like
Mhm.
what films can we submit, what works. So it's like a big test. And I also, even though my film didn't it didn't buffer correctly on the night of, I do really appreciate everyone's support of the film and watching it again. I hope it's one of the ones people watch when they show their friends what the nerds are making.
It definitely is. If I had friends other than you, I would definitely show them.
Heck yeah. Yep.
Speaking about support just for the film, how do you feel that you've basically gotten a shout out in nearly every episode of the podcast?
It feels good. It definitely feels good. It keeps me laughing. I'm really glad that like, Andrew like called my film like, oh, it's like this weird lost film, and Trevor like made his film just to hear me laugh. I'm glad that I'm a part of the team, part of the crew, because I don't think everybody's got this. We have something rare with the
Mhm.
nerds and with the Party Room Film Festival. So I hope everybody just soaks that in, just loves it. So
Yeah, it's just something really cool that we have here.
agree.
But that being said, Red Band,
Yep.
then we move on to Wilmore Extra Terrestrial. What
Mhm.
is coming in the future for a Zach Adam film? Any ideas that you're playing with for next year?
Yeah, yeah. I've always got a few ideas. What always derails them is the parameters that are actually allowed for the films. So I'm like always like, oh, this is a great idea for a Party Room Film Festival movie. I think the lure of that is just because I know people are gonna watch it. Like I know that my friends are gonna watch this film. It's gonna be talked about like we're talking about Wet now. So that's like the true blessing of the Party Room Film Festival is having an audience. So I try to think of stuff that would be good for, oh, what can I wow my friends with?
Mhm.
But I mean, we'll have to see what the parameters come with this year because I always end up changing like nearly everything
Yeah.
once those parameters come out.
Mhm.
It really alters my thought process.
Do you think there is a perfect recipe for a submission?
I don't know. I think you know things that can work, but in my opinion, what I come to for the Party Room Film Festival is to see Sam Maddox's movie, see Stice's movie, see your movie. And so I come with these expectations of I just want to see each person improve. Like I would love to see them just get more and more ballsy with the stuff that they're going to put in their films. They're going to try different things. I just want to see their interpretation of, their world and where they're going and what they're thinking. And each of these films is such an insight to the person. you know an Andrew King movie wouldn't be Andrew King without him. It has a very particular taste. And that's what I want.
Here's the thing, the Party Room Film Festival could expand. Like everybody, I feel like each group that like makes up the nerd group
Mhm.
has their own subgroup of people that they tell about
Mhm.
and experience kind of through me or through Mitchell or through Sam or through you, like,
Mhm.
oh, I know this friend who does this crazy film festival thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Party Room Film Festival has like an opportunity, I think, to like, well, like, what if we got like a bunch of subscribers? Like, what if it like grew pass itself while still maintaining exclusivity, I guess.
See, I'll play devil's advocate there and
Just do.
say that I don't want that to happen.
Fair.
Because once we have like, 2,000, 3,000 subscribers, then it doesn't, and notice I didn't say if, I say once we have it.
Right. Because I feel like it could become that though.
But like if that happens, it no longer becomes about inside jokes for this group of 12 nerds.
Very true.
Instead, it becomes about more generally accessible jokes and stuff that's good for the public, and not. I feel like it would
lose
something.
that charm of 10 guys made a film festival amongst themselves. Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong. For like one festival, I'd love to submit everything on Netflix, and like we get Netflix to start a voting system.
That's right.
But I don't know. I don't want it to be like big or anything.
It's kind of true. Like it would be like as much of a blessing as it would also be this curse. That like a double-edged sword in a way, where as much as you're like making these films for yourselves or for these guys and for this group, you would always in the back of your mind be like, oh no, I wonder what our 50 subscribers, the 50 people who are friends of my friends would also think of this. Like, I mean, I like to put like a lot of blood in my films, and some dumb jokes. Would it become more tamed back if more people were to view it? So
and like, you could argue like maybe that's what happened to the Oscars, like, because none of those movies are good anymore.
Maybe so. Maybe
like it just became about pleasing the culture and pleasing whatever agenda that that year has.
Right.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe they used to be just a group of friends who were judging movies. Then they got popular and they lost their magic.
That's right. We got to keep the magic. We've got to maintain somehow whatever this is and protect it with our lives. Maybe somewhere out on Earth this is happening to another friend group, right? Maybe there's an alternate universe where there's all evil versions of ourselves, or maybe the good versions of ourselves, where they're making their own party room film festival. But I feel like what we have is incredibly unique.
I think it has the potential to be like a cult following, maybe. Like, I'm sure that there is an audience that we don't know that just gets it. Like, I'm sure
awesome.
Like there is an audience for literally anything. I'm not sure. Like, I'm sure that there's a thing, but I'd rather just keep it to, below 50,000 subscribers. But,
yeah,
we'll deal with that when we get there.
That's right. One thing that I think would be really cool moving forward with the festival is like when I watch the festival again, or I guess the lineup of films, like I almost like to watch all the films in the order that they were on the night of, because I like, of the last two film festivals, the order has been like solid, like really good. I think I had this idea, like what if we did almost like an extra video on our YouTube channel, right? Where it is like essentially a recording of us reacting to like it's essentially a stream of the night of the Party Room Film Festival, but it's emphasized with kind of like a react. So like we set up some mics and we can hear everyone in the room reacting to the videos. We have just like that Let's Player camera up in the top left-hand corner of the screen with all of us on there. We could just use Wirecast or whatever program we want to like kind of record the stream of it. And so while we also have like the individual films on YouTube channel, we could also have like this, hour and so many minutes record of the night and how people like reacted to certain films and stuff. And that's like an archive of that. You could like watch that later just to get like how we reacted.
Yeah, I would love that. Just because this year's film from me was definitely different. This year I actually tried and I was extremely insecure about it, like going in, you remember. So I was trying my best not to just like stare around at everybody because like I genuinely wanted to see everybody's reactions to thing and see if it was playing well and stuff like that. So I would love that. I wish did have the ability to go back and watch all of those reactions. That would be cool.
I mean, and even with my film where it like buffered several times through the film, there was like still that like stillness in the air of like, oh no, like the film is buffering. And like even to capture that would be like to capture the night, I guess.
Yeah.
Like to capture the experience of it and then be like, oh well, go back and watch that film because it wasn't able to be there on the night of,
Yeah, that would be really cool. What other things do you have for just going forward, the future of the festival? Do you have any other ideas?
So nothing that I say can be put in any kind of stone or anything. I am like of the 3 RAs that put together like what the festival could be and like new ideas and whatnot. Like I pitch the most of them and I get the most shot down because that's my strategy, is to just kind of spitball until someone's like, yeah, that sounds all right. And then I'm
you gotta throw stuff at a wall and see what sticks.
Right. So like, yeah. Like Andrew is really good at like coming up with ideas like, oh, this is a fun idea. This will get people to like really be involved in it. And it's a good idea like going forward. Like he really thinks about the ideas that he pitches for the festival. Josiah will be like, okay, Zach, that was a terrible idea, but this is how we can make it work. He almost like, as the master builder does, he takes an idea and he's like, all right, this is good, but it needs to be done in this way. Because I don't think about half the stuff I say before I post it on our chat, our secret chat.
The Academy chat.
Yeah. The Party Room Film Festival admin chat. I mean, the big thing that is an issue for this year is where the festival is going to be. Right. So since Andrew had hosted the festival in the past, he's moving and now we've got to find a place to do it. Now it's up to us to figure out, okay, well, do we have it at somebody's house or do we try to rent out a theater? Where is that location going to be so that it's around the most people going forward? So I had pitched on the chat, what if we did it at my place, because I have my parents have some land and like we could project the films onto like the barn, or we could do it inside the barn, if we don't want to do it outside or something. That would be cheap. People would just have to drive to Indiana. I think most of the crew is in Kentucky. So as a team, we've got to figure out, okay, where do we want it to be? Do we want it to be inside so we don't get rained out? Do we want it to be, do we want to pay for a theater? Or are we willing to pitch in for that?
What is the likelihood that the guys will pitch in for that?
Right. Probably, I don't know. I honestly think that is what we may end up doing. We may find a theater in Kentucky that is in between most of us, right? And we'll rent that theater out for an evening, because I did that for one of my buddies' bachelor parties.
Oh, really?
Last year. Yeah, I rented out a theater and we played Halo on the big screen. And it was actually a pretty straightforward experience. I hadn't done that before, but I just like emailed the place and they were super chill. And specifically the theater that we went to wasn't very expensive, specifically because like we're in the COVID area.
Mhm.
You know, we're still in COVID land. Maybe we could find a theater that has a nice big screen. We
Mhm.
could ask them how much it is, and then we could pitch on the group chat, hey, would everyone be willing to chip in, you know, Venmo an amount of cash to make
Mhm.
a theater screening happen? I think that's probably the most likely scenario that we'll come up with,
Mhm.
just because we'll have a screen. It'll be pretty straightforward, I think. I
There's no
guess,
chance of it getting rained out.
yeah. The theater that I went to, we were able to get internet access and we didn't have any problem with that.
Mhm.
So like it was, you know, they just like wheeled down an HDMI cable from the projector.
That's
Like,
dope.
and this, yeah, it was pretty straightforward and easy, like easier than I thought it would be. So I think that that's like a valid option that we could make
Mhm.
work. That's like the big change for this year. Now, I mean, if everybody wants to come over to Zach's house and have a huge party, I think that would be awesome as well. But I do want to see just where people are at, and maybe this podcast episode could start a conversation about that. So,
Absolutely. I will remind you that your episode is coming out on February like 28th or something like that.
that's fine. No, that's perfect because I mean we'll get the first, we'll start doing the clues around June, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So that's probably like perfect timing, actually, a couple months beforehand.
One thing that I would love to change is I'd love some type of like pre-party or
Yeah,
not that we didn't have a pre-party, like because people got there and got to hang out for a little bit, but I mean, like, I don't know, it would just be cool if we were able to like play worms beforehand or just do more activities beforehand before we
hmm,
got into the all right, sit down, because I feel like I didn't get to hang out and talk to as many people as I could, because we went and got like the pizza and stuff, so we kind of showed up late and I was a bummer.
that's right. I think that's a great idea. That would be awesome if we could like have it at a place where like either we rent it or we have it at someone's house,
Mhm.
where yeah, we could show up between a certain time or even after. Probably
Mhm.
even better do it after, because we will be talking about the films anyway,
Mhm.
leading up to it, or after they're premiered.
Mhm.
I think that would be a fantastic idea.
It's like after party and stuff. That'd be good. Is there anyone you want to call out this year, grudge match style?
Do you know anyone that? Okay, question.
Actually, actually, before I ask that, um,
Yeah,
Sam
who's already been
Maddox,
called out? Yeah.
Sam Maddox called you out, sir.
Sam Maddox calls me out.
Sam
Oh
Maddox.
man.
He said that one, he loves your films, and that he just thinks you would be the one to get super enthusiastic and get super into it. A friendly rivalry.
Yes.
So you have been called out by him. His
Awesome.
episode just hasn't been
Awesome.
released yet.
Yeah, Sam. I hear your call outs, but next year my film is going to be twice as complicated. It's going to have twice the amount of actors. There's going to be CGI. I'm going to put like twice as much money. I'm going to put like $20 into it this time. So you're going down, my friend. Going down.
You heard it here at the PRFF podcast. There is a confirmed Sam Maddox and Zach Adam rivalry grudge match next year.
You know, my blood is just boiling. It's just overflowing with rage at this moment. It's going to be an absolute cage match. This man doesn't know what he's done. Is summon the demons, the Zachary Adam demons.
Uh, uh, what I want to grow from this is that we actually, Andrew in the polls at the end of the night puts Sam versus Zach.
Yes,
Uh,
that'd be awesome. Yeah,
but yeah, no, I think that would just be fun. So
that'd be
just
cool.
now you said you're going to have twice as many actors.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I am doing this podcast is so that I can get face to face with every director.
Hmm.
That way I can be in all of the films. That way I can be for sure win next year for best actor.
Sweet. Yes.
Zach, can I be in your film next year?
Absolutely, for sure. I I don't know what it's going to be, and I don't know what I'm going to have you do, but whatever it is, it'll be absolutely absurd. And you may say no, but I'll say, hey, you asked for it. So.
I stuck my head in a toilet for Sam's film. I'll say that.
Right. That is pretty extreme.
There is nothing I won't do for Best Actor.
Dude, did you get Best Actor? You didn't get Best Actor.
No, I didn't.
Oh, of course not. Who won? Who actually got Best Actor?
I think Chuckles did. I think Aaron's stupid pugs.
Okay, see, that makes it better. That makes it really good.
I don't know who it was. I think it was Chuckles, though. Well, Zach, thank you so much for hanging out with me for a little bit and letting us know a little bit more about the film.
Cool, buddy. Thank you so much for interviewing me. And yeah, I'm excited to be your best man. So everyone else that you're even thinking about can suck it. For you podcast listeners, I just flipped everyone off.
I was about to say they won't see this, but he just shot 2 birds at everybody.
They deserve it. I win. I'm a winner.
Well, this has been the PRFF podcast, and I'm just hanging out
with my fam.